Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Dog.
One dog.
It's your girl, BD.
It's four ends the fiance. Oh, God, no. Four ends the foodie.
And we are back.
We're back.
We're back. Also, it's hot for the first time this summer in the UK. Yeah. And so if you hear, it's a fan. Yeah, because you know why? Because I can't come and die. Also, what's going on your ends, fam? What's going on there?
It's the sound of the police. It's the sound of the police. Okay, I live near a hospital, l'hôpital, and so there's always like an ambulance or a siren or something.
Okay.
Good for my man's because he's a doctor, but not good for the pod.
Well, on that note,
I'm drinking.
Oh, are you? Wow, look at you. Look at you.
So today I actually did an induction so I've been working at this company for like over a month now, but obviously these inductions are booked in for like certain periods of time. So I did the induction thing, and part of the induction was wine tasting and pairing. I learned a lot, and actually I was told I'm very, very knowledgeable about wine or on wine, I don't know, which I didn't think I was. I just thought, I was like a wine and Sprite kind of girl, but no, apparently I know my stuff.
Come on.
So I learned how to taste wine as a professional. So first, when you have the wine and someone offers you wine, first of all, you never pour this much. This is like a glass. You're not meant to have
This is a act like you've been here before type of glass.
Yeah, so this is too much.
This is a cute glass though.
Thank you very much. I got it from Donnell. So I've got like half a glass of wine. That's too much for tasting. But really what you need to do is tilt it to a 45-degree angle to look at the colour. So obviously certain wines should be certain colours. This is a Chardonnay. I believe this is medium. So it should be almost like your pee, but not like your pee in the morning. Kind of just like your pee in the day when you haven't had too much to drink. And then you tilt it to 45 degrees to make sure that the colour is fine. Swirl it around and then smell.
If you can see her face, she is so focused.
Ooh. So this one is the Ned. It's one of the best sellers of my company. I'm not going to tell you where I work, but I mean, if you know, then you'll know. I'm getting it's quite citrusy.
Okay.
No oaky afterbirth.
Lord help us.
Oh, that is really refreshing. Yeah. Very fruity tones, notes. I would pair this.
Not tones.
I would pair this with cheese. There's this fruity cheese that I love. It has cranberry
What kind
in
of
it.
cheese?
I think it would go really, really well with this. It's a white cheese with cranberries in it.
So you just eat the cheese and the wine?
I would eat the cheese and the wine.
With crackers?
This would also,
or no crackers?
Yeah.
Okay.
This would also go really well with a fish dish as well. And I think tomatoes, anything with tomatoes as well would work. The acidity would complement each other.
Okay, so put a picture of the wine on the Instagram so that these people can know what to cook with. Speaking of wine tastings and pairings, I'm actually going to a restaurant, this weekend. And it's like a 6-course meal, and it has like each course has like a wine pairing.
Who you going with?
Vicky. And I cannot wait. Like literally, the way this week has beat my ass, I literally cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Why do we never go to places like this?
But did you think it was my suggestion? One of us has to suggest the thing. Now that you are, what's it?
I'm actually going to do...
Not connoisseur, sommelier. That's it.
Yeah. I'm actually
So take me places, show me the good life.
I'm going to do a course. I've decided, because my company offers it. So I'm going to do the course. I'm going to be insufferable.
Yeah, you already are. But I love it for you, though.
You guys are going to hate me on nights out. I'm like, no.
Prepare to be sick of me.
Sick of you guys. I'm going to be like, guys, come on. Not you ordering the you need a 1968. Do you
remember when we did sour grapes? What episode was that? But do you remember when we did sour grapes?
Yeah.
That's going to be you.
Yeah, it's going to be me.
Minus the scamming. Well, I don't know. You might decide to scam.
I might decide to scam.
In this economy.
Ciao. I'm actually so excited to do this documentary. I enjoyed it a lot, but I think I enjoyed it because I watched it on 1.75.
I've not finished it. I only watched the first half, so
no, I'm
I
not
am
finished
in.
either.
Oh yeah, but I think it was. So anyway, Jared from Subway catching a monster. That's the documentary we're doing today.
Yeah.
It is on Amazon Prime. It's also on Le Internet and Discovery Plus, I think. It's on Amazon Prime via Discovery Plus, so it's not like free.
Wait, did you watch it on Amazon?
No, I found it.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking, I just went to my site.
Discovery Plus.
No. I went to the site.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I wasn't gonna pay for it
because I didn't know if it was like on any streaming site that was.
It's on Discovery Plus, but
yeah, no.
Yeah, but yeah. So it starts with on-screen text, which says, "In 2000," which is crazy that was 23 years ago. Like, that's actually kind of wild.
Somebody said something about 2013, and I was like, oh yeah, like 2 years ago.
The other day,
like,
no,
that was fucking 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago.
Fuck off.
We were in uni.
No, but I wasn't in uni 10 years ago. Stop it.
Yeah, we absolutely were. That was after the 2012 Olympics.
I wasn't.
So in 2000, Jared Fogle was hired to be a spokesperson for a national fast food chain. He became a pop culture sensation, inspiring thousands of people, all the while hiding a dangerous secret. And imagine this is like white text on a black background, dramatic. For the first time ever, survivors of abuse have agreed to reveal their identity and speak publicly. This series features graphic discussions and actual audio recordings of a child predator that are disturbing in nature. They didn't lie about that part because they're fucking disturbing.
They did not lie.
Viewer discretion is advised. And I put this in because this is your trigger warning, okay? You had the whole time, that whole statement, to decide whether or not you want to stay. And like, this is a very wild case from the half that I've watched. And if you want to skip this episode, I get it. There's a bunch of like child predator free episodes you can listen to. So just so you know, yeah, normally we forget the trigger warnings. We do them halfway through the bad stuff. But now you know before.
Has anyone complained?
Not to me, but I can imagine that it's not helpful if, you know, you're actually being triggered. So
yeah, I guess.
Okay, so you're still here. Episode 1. There's no titles. Friends will be glad to know. Episode 1. So this documentary is about this guy called Jared Fogle, aka Jared from Subway, yeah. He becomes famous because he loses 245 pounds just by eating Subway sandwiches. So he's the inspiration. Everyone loves him, whatever. Cool. So it's 1994. And we're in Indianapolis. We meet Katie, who went to school with Jared, and she's just talking about how he was a loner, he was really shy, he was gaining weight even in middle school, and like by the time he got to high school, he was morbidly obese, and like he didn't really have any friends, and he was alone. He kind of felt like food was his friend. Like that's just the vibe that he was like in school. Yeah,
but I don't like, so they also, there's this other friend as well, like, well, not friend.
Was he a friend? I was gonna say he just went to school with him. Yeah,
and he was just a fucking like, I just didn't like the way the two of them were talking about him. I know this is not me fighting, like I'm not doing an Iggy Azalea.
No, because this is law. This is the story of this is before we know anything about what he's done. I
just didn't like the way they were talking about him. It was very like, it was almost like they were still being mean kids, like kiki. That was, and almost
like, oh, I cannot believe that like Jared, like got famous, like Jared, like the fat guy. There was even a bit
where they asked her like, oh, like she was basically saying that he had no friends, and then they were like, would you have gone to sit with him? And she was like, no, that's social suicide. And it's like, even as an adult, you would still speak like that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. As in, and I can understand your reference in the past, oh, that would have been social suicide. But there was no sense of like, yeah, I can't lie, like, I wouldn't have sat with him. And I feel kind of bad about that.
Yeah,
like,
it was just like, oh,
if I was me now, then there'd be no reason for me to, do you know what I mean? It was very like Mean Girls kind of vibes. So eventually he loses a lot of weight, he becomes a celeb on campus, and then there's this article written about him. So as we said, he loses 245 pounds in under a year, which is amazing. I don't know if you can like grasp the magnitude of losing
130 something kilograms.
Yeah, like losing that means that you had that and some on your body. Do you get what I mean? And that takes a lot of discipline and dedication, and I think that should be celebrated. And the way that people respond to him now that he's thin reminds me of this TikTok that I saw recently, where this woman was saying that like her weight has fluctuated her whole life. She's been big, she's been slim, she's been this, she's been that, yeah. And she was just like, it makes her sad how much nicer people are to her whenever she loses weight. Like even people that are close to her. She was like, so now that I've lost weight, are you telling me that now I'm worthy of this treatment before just because of my body? So I was the exact same person, and it's common. True. It's common. Yeah, it's commonplace, and it's true,
like,
and I get that.
I know when I'm slimmer, like people, like even close to me, compliment me more. Like I feel like whenever I put on weight, no one ever says to me, "Oh, you look nice when you go out." But when I go out, but then when I'm slimmer, like it's always, oh my gosh, you look so good.
The compliment is like tied into you losing weight, as opposed to you just looking nice.
Yeah. And you can't. And they're big girls that are fucking stunning. Like they're
bare.
So
and dress nice and dress well.
Exactly.
Just like there's slim girls that don't dress well.
Exactly. So it's just like it's all tied into like. Yeah,
but the compliments are one thing. Her point was more like people treating her nicely, like with respect and dignity, like not just like, oh, you look nice. It was like people actually being nice to me, like offering to do things for me, or like just extending help to me where I wouldn't need to ask, or not having like a certain disdain. I feel like the world does have like a disdain for fat people.
Of course. Like even like this whole thing with Lizzo, I've been thinking about it for a while, and whilst I don't know if the allegations are true or not, like I really do not know where I stand, but what I will say is the what's the word, vitriol vitriol people have had towards her is definitely rooted in fat phobia and anti-blackness, because like Ellen DeGeneres had the exact like very similar allegations like that were proven, and like multiple people came out and spoke out against it, including like really reputable celebrities and stuff like that. And it kind of was like after that I was like, okay, well this is a bit awkward, we'll cancel the show. She had this ridiculous goodbye season that went on for like 2 years on its own, and then after that nobody says anything. It's like, oh, it never happened. But with Lizzo, it's like people are coming for blood. Like they want to cancel her and they want to do. Ellen still has a very successful career. Like she still gets invited to stuff. She's not been cancelled, but people have come out. Celebrities have come out and been like, yeah, she's actually a bully. Like, and even some of the allegations lobbied against Lizzo aren't even against her. They're around people around her. So it's like it's.
I mean, that's definitely a part of it, because I've even seen tweets that's like, oh yeah, I knew I always hated that fat bitch.
Yeah. What does her weight have to do with
where did that come from?
And I think it comes from, and people wanting to discredit her and everything about whether she is who she portrays herself to be. I think a lot of it comes from, because I even saw this article written by this white woman about how her whole like stance of feminism is more to do with herself rather than like the people she's meant to be taking up.
But that's so funny coming from a white woman.
And that's what I mean. I said we've opened the door now for white women to critique black women and the stance, like, anyways, either way, I just feel like a lot of it is rooted in fat phobia, and a lot of it is like, for too long she dared to be like,
and to love herself
and love herself loudly. So now like there's this hint of a possible like whatever people are like,
because two things can be true. Like she could be a bitch or a dickhead or an abuser, and she could also be a fat black woman who loves herself. Like two things can actually be true, and like you don't have to. Like one doesn't forget the. Do you know what I mean? Like even if she's an abuser, it's not because she's a fat black woman that loves herself. So that doesn't. Other black or fat women that love themselves now, or that were inspired by Lizzo, they shouldn't now come and hate themselves because she may be an abuser. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get what you mean. Like the world is not nice to fat people, like at all.
Look at that. There have been clips circling around on TikTok recently of that guy that did Fat Families.
Oh, the British show.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's like, hey, fatty.
So funny. Like, I feel like back in the day, TV was good. Like, I kind of miss when things weren't politically correct, because as bad as it was, like, it was so funny. He was like, oh, 2 Titanic-sized cousins. Like, are you actually okay? Like, are you okay? Like, how can you say this on TV? And he was like, the fatties. Nah, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, wild. Yeah. So Jared lost weight by eating a small turkey sub and Veggie Delight from Subway every day. Was it worth it? Perhaps.
At what cost?
At what cost?
At what cost?
This is like the Jussie Smollett one, and I was like, the real crime was really the Subway. This whole thing, fam. I just don't. I understand Subway. Like, you go and you make your own sandwich. I get that, amazing. But I did have a banging Subway sandwich randomly, like, last weekend. What was in it? It was so random. Recently, I've really been just, like, loving sandwiches. Like, I'm just obsessed. I always want a sandwich. So it was like a chicken Caesar. But my mouth is watering. Their Caesar salad, like, the sauce is a bit different to normal Caesar, because I'm not a massive fan of, like, normal Caesar sauce. But, like, it was a chicken Caesar with, obviously, bacon. And then I put some sweet onion on it, and you always have to have the sweet onion sauce. Onion sauce, it's absolutely amazing. And then it was obviously toasted with the cheese. Oh, what kind of bread did you get? I always get the hearty Italian. Is that the one with stuff in it?
It's like the one that has
the
like
brownish
cheese
one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
maybe I should give Subway a chance.
But yeah, I think I might get that again. Oh my god, so good.
What have we unleashed? Okay. So the journalist who writes about him for that article talks about how, you know, Jared came from like a normal home. He had 2 younger siblings, a brother and a sister. Mum's a teacher, dad's a doctor. And I just hope that as this story unfolds, we keep in mind that someone could have the most perfect or socially acceptable upbringing and still come out as depraved as this person is.
But I do think part of what they were trying to say was that he didn't have a normal childhood, in the sense that his weight isolated him. He was bullied, la-di-da-di-da-da-da, and that's... I don't think they were saying that's why he is what he is, but I think...
I mean, everything contributes to everything else in our lives, you know what I mean?
I mean, so yeah. But I think he had a normal family life. Like,
yeah, exactly, like a normal home life.
Yeah.
So Jared's life improves when he loses weight. Now he has a girlfriend, he gets married, he becomes the face of Subway, and he is on a national ad. He's the spokesperson for Subway. He's on bare shows. Like, he gets really, 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 really famous
and really rich. I checked his net worth. He was worth $15 million.
Are you serious?
Like that. Do you know what? Yeah, back then it was easier to get rich off of...
Because it wasn't just everyone was an influencer.
Yeah, everyone's an influencer. Everything's so saturated. Like, you would never make that kind of money now.
And America really was that place that, like, actually you could do big things. Like, you could really make it in America. Like, I even think it's kind of like the same now, but maybe a bit more like different. But in the UK, like, if you lose that amount of weight, they'll say, okay, cool. Well, what if somebody doesn't have legs and they can't walk to Subway and get... Oh, yeah, but what if there's no Subway near your house? Oh, I live in the sticks. There's no Subway near me. How am I... That's the UK, yeah? They're not really trying to support you like that. But in America, it's like, oh, my days, you're an inspiration.
It's a lot easier to blow in America.
They're better vibes overall, I would say. So now we're in Sarasota, Florida.
I don't think they're not better vibes. Sorry, I don't want to be that person.
What do you mean?
They're not better vibes. It's not about vibes. I just think that, like, they're easier to entertain.
I think maybe that's a factor, but I do think Americans are better vibes than the UK. As a whole, babe, not like, oh, this one, like, as a whole, the UK are a miserable bunch.
Rock and Blueface. There's no reason why these people should be like.
But that's a subset of culture.
But it's even this guy, he lost weight, okay, like, be in a couple of ads, but he really became a thing. Like, they're so easily, like, enamored.
Yeah.
I mean, we are bad vibes, but
I think that they're better vibes.
That's what it is. I think that's why it's easier to blow there.
Yeah, well, whatever. So we're in Sarasota, Florida. We meet Rochelle Herman. Rochelle Herman is a radio journalist, right? So her show is to educate the public, mainly about, like, obesity and, like, health and stuff. So she's asked to interview Jared Fogle, and she's like, yeah, why not? Like, you know, she'll do it. And she does this thing where, like, she compares Jared Fogle to, like, being Michael Jackson, and I'm just like, okay, fine. Cool. So Rochelle tells us how, you know, Jared was really nice, had a bit of an ego, but was really keen on motivating people to lose weight, especially kids, right? And so she introduces her kids to Jared because, like, her kids are a huge fan. And again, I kind of get what friends are saying, because, like, how are you a fan of someone who just lost weight? So you're not even a big person yourself that, like, oh, this is my inspiration. You literally just seen someone. It's like hyper visibility. You've seen him so much, and he's on all these ads, and he's around celebrities that you want to like. You just like him
for what? What do you mean you're a fan of him? You're a fan of a man that lost weight. People do that shit every fucking day.
Every day, B. People eat Subway every day.
People, like, so what is all of this? That's what I'm saying. They're just easy.
Yeah, it went too far. Yeah, it went too far.
Easy to, and that's why they have all these stupid celebs that nobody could like. That's why we have Iggy Azalea and Mario, like, sending Tory Lanez letters. We elevate these stupid people. It's a shame. Mario is a shame because I was trying to do some thanks to him. He's fine as hell, but he has to go and ruin it. So there.
You could have let you love him, but nah. You're ruining it.
Gonna get this good. So
she says, as the wife of another.
Idris, call me.
Have you not seen Hijack? Florence and I have discussed this, yeah.
My
did you finish watching it?
Removed me from the group chat because every day I was messaging, watch Hijack.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it that day.
You guys should watch it, man. It's really good. It's on Apple TV. Good.
Idris Elba, like, he's so sexy.
Yeah, he is. Like, that's a man.
I think he's like the sexiest man on earth. I've never felt this. intense attraction to someone that I don't know. Like, I've never felt such an intense, like, attraction to a person that I've never met. Like, I want to claw through the screen and
get
jump
to him.
into...
Yeah, I hear that.
Sabrina,
yeah, I hear that.
Your days are
Hold on tight, girl. I hope you can fight.
I hope you can fight. I actually really don't like her.
Why? Because she's with him.
100%.
Oh, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not like she did anything.
He said he wasn't gonna marry again, so it was kind of like, I was kind of like, okay, fair enough. Like, I want to get married. I mean, I wanted to when I was unmarried, but I wanted to get married. So I was like, okay, it can never really work. It might be just some fun. But then he married her, and it's kind of like, just go to hell. First of all, go to hell.
You are a crazy person. You're a crazy person. We're at my Indies Nest. Let us continue. So then Rochelle tells us the story because after the radio interview, another day, they're at middle school, okay? Doing a televised, like, recorded, I see you see me kind of, like, thing, yeah. And so then Rochelle tells us that he leans over and whispers in her ear and says how hot he thought middle school girls were.
I'm not buying it.
Unprovoked.
I'm not buying it.
I was like, why would you just randomly...
something is very murky in the water about this Rochelle babe.
Yep. Thank you.
I think so.
Thank you.
And when
she loves it. I get onto her a bit more later, but she fucking loves it, mate.
Yeah. Something's very murky. I do not believe he said that to her.
Yeah.
Because when you are, I don't know if I should... Can I say the word? Paedophile? Can I say it? Yeah. When you are a paedophile, yeah, it's a very niche underground part thing to be a part of, right?
It's dark.
You don't just come to anyone and be like, oh.
And this is the thing. I feel like either she didn't say that.
She could be married to a police officer.
Yeah. Or she could have been... Anyway, we'll get there. But either, like, it didn't happen, or it didn't happen the way that she's saying. Like, she might have missed some stuff out. Because I just can't comprehend that you guys have had, one other interaction. It was calm, blah, blah, blah. And then you're at middle school doing a thing and he just leans over when you're just about to start recording to say, oh, I find middle school girls hot.
Yeah, no, I don't believe so. Because for you to open up about something that can land you in prison for a very long time, you need to be sure the other person... With the
kind of celebrity that you have.
Yeah, like you need to be sure the other person is on that. I am not buying that he just randomly said it to her. Like, that is a wild thing to say.
Yeah. But according to Rochelle, this is what leads her to doubt Jared.
So basically, it's not just Jared that's on this Subway diet. Another woman does this Subway diet, and she starts doing a lot of promo stuff with Jared. Yeah,
but she does it because of him.
Yeah, and it's just funny because that's how all of these fad diets work. Sorry, like Weight Watchers, all of them, they're just like this, yeah. So she spends a lot of time with Jared, and she says that for all intents and purposes, like, he was calm. Like, she thought he was a really nice guy, really passionate, motivating kids. Like, she did not see anything untoward about him.
I'm glad she says that,
I'm glad she says that as well, because I think it just reiterates, because if you see this Jared, Jared looks like what's that guy from The Office? Not Michael Scott. The one that runs the company, the CFO, David Wallace.
Oh, David.
He looks like David Wallace's evil twin. Like, it's the same vibe. He's a very normal guy that you would walk past and not think.
You wouldn't think twice.
He looks like a normal family guy. You can imagine him going to church every Sunday with his kids. And I just think that, like, it just shows you how normal these depraved people are. Like, when you think of pedophiles, you think of this, like, these weird old guys CD, like stroking their cock with greasy... No, like, normal everyday people can be.
And I'm glad that she said that she didn't see any red flags, because people love to say, oh yeah, I would know, or like, yeah, I knew it, or I could always tell. Sometimes you cannot. Sometimes you actually can't. So now we're back with Rochelle, who has taken it upon herself to investigate and gather evidence on Jared, which, like, okay, you're trying to do a good thing, but she gives, like, Dan Schneider energy. Yeah. Like, she gives, like, don't fuck with cats energy. Like she gives, like, the auntie from House of Hammer. Like, I'm not saying she's a clout chaser, but I feel like she loves it. Like, she loves it. Like, even she's from the trailer, I was like, she is dying for it. Literally, like, Pooja voices behaviour, The producer even says,
you are a radio talk show host, you're a reporter. This could potentially be an amazing and revealing story. To what extent did that play into your motivation?
And luckily for you, dear listener, I speak British, yeah? And don't confuse British with English because it's different, yeah? The guy is saying to her, like, are you sure you weren't motivated by clout?
Yeah.
Are you sure that, like, do you really, really care about the kids like that? Or is it that you just wanted a good story and wanted to put yourself into something that you knew was going to be a big deal? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Which is literally what I was thinking. I was like, I can't lie. Like, this, what's that?
Yep.
Especially the way she's so, like the glee, the glimmer, the sheen in her eyes when she's telling us about, like,
I feel like
all of this stuff.
I also feel like she emphasizes how disgusted she was by him, but I feel like she does it in a very insincere way.
Yeah, and then the things that she does,
because I feel like she said it because she believes that's what she's supposed to feel like. Yeah. Like for us, in order for us to be on her side, she needs to seem extremely disgusted by. Yeah. I mean, and she does admit that, like, initially she was like, oh yeah, this would be, you know, a really mad story. But also she's like, you know, what he said was horrible. Which did he say it? Did he say it then? Who knows? So as we always say on this podcast, like, two things can be true, right? But then the producer is like, oh, why didn't you go to the police? And she was saying she had no evidence, which is like, okay, cool. You know, I get he's a celeb in that, but, like, surely then they would be able to be like, all right, cool. We hear, I mean, but to be honest, police be police. And so, like, maybe they wouldn't even, like, have taken her seriously. I don't know. But she investigates and she finds nothing. What she does to investigate, Lord knows. And she decides to tape him expressing his desires. So, like, her plan is to basically get evidence and then give it to the police and say, hey, there's evidence, right? So now we're in 2006. Rochelle has to record with him again for some reason. And so this time she's like, I'm going to get his number and I'm going to use it to get more information from him. And she starts recording the phone calls, and we hear a lot of the calls during the documentary, right? So they meet up at this hotel, and she has, like, her dictaphone in her bag. Dictaphone. I love that word.
Okay, I knew you weren't going to let that one go.
Dictaphone.
We heard.
Filthy.
So Jared's getting all touchy-feely, yeah? And she's pulling away, and then she tells us that he tells her to put her hair in pigtails because he finds it hot. Now, that coupled up with the whole middle school comment, obviously, is giving I like small girls kind of vibes.
That I can believe.
Scary. I can believe that too, because you might think, oh, that's weird, but then you might think, okay, whatever, like, it's not that deep. Let me just put my hair in pigtails.
But do you think schoolgirl fetish is a red flag?
Yes. Why? Like, I remember one time, I don't remember how old I was, but I was, like, probably my early 20s. And then this guy moved to me on the train, and then he asked me how old I was, and I must have said, I think I was like 22 or something. And then he was like, oh, you look much younger. And I was like, so why are you moving to me? Yeah, literally, I was like, so then why did you move to me?
That is not usually what people say. Like, they usually say, oh, you look older when you say you're 16. And then it's like, oh, I thought you were older, which is like, okay.
I'm telling you I'm 22, you're telling me, oh, I look much younger, which I do.
In a disappointed tone.
In a disappointed tone. So what did you come here to do?
He said I was looking for jailbait. I was trying to go to jail.
Anyway, madness. So yeah, I can believe that this happened, basically. So he goes to the bathroom, and then she runs away, and then when he realizes that she's not there, he calls her, and she's like, oh, I had to get back to my kids, whatever, cool. She continues talking to him on the phone, and, like, he's opening up more and more, and he literally is, because we hear the phone calls and stuff, and it's getting really, like, disgusting. So there's a phone call where, like, Rochelle asks what turns him on.
I had asked you before what it was that turned you on so much about from different ages, very young.
They just have such nice, pure bodies, Mm-hmm.
And he also talks about, like, his fetishes. I'm going to do that because that's easier. He also talks about his fetishy, right?
I know that's not a word. I know for a fact that's not a word.
It can be. All words are made up. So, like, what were you even doing?
We did say we were going to make a dictionary.
A dictionary, we did. Yeah, we did. Fetishy.
Cock everywhere.
Okay. So he talks about his fetishy and wanting to go to clubs where he can watch people have sex. And Rochelle's like, oh, what's the craziest thing he wants to do? And he's like, everything. And so she's basically trying to coax out his real desires, right?
I want to do everything.
What about when you're talking about someone who's young? How do we do that?
I want to figure it out. We can work on that.
Like how young?
I don't know.
9 or 10.
Yeah, that'd be hot.
Yeah.
That'd be really hot.
Wanting someone in middle school, and Rochelle's like, oh, you know, it's like someone 9 or 10, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? She was leading with that question.
Thank you. Because I'm not Team Jared at all. That guy is a predator. He needs to be got. But like, she is not pulling desires. What's that Orgasm Inc. that we did? Pulling desires. But she's leading him. Like, she's leading him. He says middle school. She's also like 9, 10, and he's like, yeah, like, we need, even for any of this to be credible, we need for it to be coming from him.
I'm trying to fuck.
Like, out of his own mouth, like, because all of this you're doing for nothing, because then it's not even going to be admissible, and then where do we go from here?
Yeah.
So I mean, he does think that Rochelle is like in it with him, but then she takes the tapes to the FBI again. Dan Schneider energy, like, just go into the FBI, doing your thing, whatever. Anyway, that's the end of episode 1. But we in this episode are going to do episode 1 and half of episode 2. So episode 2 opens up with this Jared Foundation that Jared sets up to like help healthy eating with children and stuff. So that's like a typical segue, like you get famous, you start a foundation or whatever. So he does, right? And it's run by this guy called Russell Taylor, who we are told is a quote unquote personal train wreck waiting to happen. Okay. Multiple talking heads say that they were a bad combination, and they fed into each other's addictions.
All I'm getting from this is he was also beautiful.
Mate.
We need to bring back that show To Catch a Predator. That was some good TV.
Where did it go? Because honestly, they are everywhere. No, I didn't see like a British equivalent. It wasn't a show. It was just a TikTok. And then like these like group of people, I guess you call them vigilantes. Yeah. And it was like the black guy. And then he was just acting like he was confused. They tried to run away.
Yeah.
Shame these people. I'm telling you.
Yeah. We need the shame demon from Big Mouth.
I don't think that even, because it's a proclivity. Is that a word? It's an illness. Like this. They have a problem.
Please pay writers, because I'm really worried about the state of TV come next year. Nothing's gonna be on.
Yeah, nothing's gonna be on. Yeah.
All the shows that I love, they say they've pushed back the next season because the writers. Billy Porter has to sell his house, which. Like, yeah, I hear it, but you are
read the room.
Literally, like, you're worth $4 million. Like, he probably lived in a house that he could ill afford anyways, and now he has to downgrade to a 5-bedroom Beverly Hills mansion. Like, fuck off. Read the room.
Read the room.
Because when he said that, I was like, oh my god, like, has he been working and not really been getting paid? Like, because he's like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, only to see he's worth $4 million. Honey.
But are those things accurate though?
When it says 4 million, it's talking about your overall assets. Like, if you sold everything.
No, but what I'm saying is that accurate though? Like, how does the internet know what all his assets and everything that he has?
I mean, it will weigh up like his salary versus some assets that you know of. So obviously, the likelihood is you're either probably worth a lot more. Actually, well, yeah, you could be worth a lot more or less.
That's what I'm saying. So like, it's just.
But he's definitely not. He's not us. You and I.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I don't even want to be you and I right now. Okay, so we meet Hannah and Christian, who are Russell Taylor's stepdaughters. They're 10 and 13 at the time this is all happening. Their mum, Angela, gets with Russell. They move to a bigger house. They have their own room and they're really happy. And I can relate to this because when I was a kid, I really, really wanted my own room. Like, I remember, you know, when they used to do those shows where like the kids would be at school and then they'd like renovate the house and stuff and the kids would come back and they have to go.
Don't tell me you used to dream of it.
Not even dream. Every time I would come back home, I would hope and pray that I just open the door one day and it would just be different. It never happened. But yeah, I'm glad it happened for them. They were so happy. They had their own room. And Russell has a production company, yeah, and it's not great, but it's his, okay. Yeah. And he. This is when I was like, yeah, this guy is a fucking pedophile too. So he records the girls playing softball, and like it comes across as him being really like supportive, and obviously like a dad recording the kid, and he makes it into like a whole movie and like that kind of thing, yeah. And the girls are also like, their mum goes from being like a proper strict Christian to going out and letting them drink and smoke when they're 12 and 15.
Girl. BFFR.
I was like,
be so for real.
What in the hell?
How do you escalate to that?
How did we get here? So this bit was kind of random. Like, okay, cool. They said that about them. Now we're back to Rochelle, who's en route FBI. Last time we left her, okay. She plays the tapes, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." So they are also like, "Yeah, we want to catch Jared," but they're like, "Babe, you can't just be out here recording people without their consent. Like, that's a crime. And so, first of all, you could be going to jail, but you're not. And second of all, like, no court is even going to allow this evidence in court. She could get felony charges for that. I didn't know that. Anyway, let this be a lesson to all of you out there, okay? Not trying to do.
But everything in America is a felony, man. They take shit too far and not far enough.
Yeah,
like,
at the same damn time.
Literally, it's a felony to record a chat, but police officers can shoot up anybody.
Then that's fine.
Person they want. It's all weird, man.
Yeah,
and, like,
it's
jaywalking
wild.
is a crime. Like, fuck off, man.
Oh, I would be in jail. So they're not going to prosecute her, obviously, but they're going to use her as an undercover asset for the FBI. Her words.
This thing that
she
FBI's
fucking loves it, fam. She loves it.
but
No training, nothing. Anyone can just be like,
really
yeah, we're going to put
bad.
you in harm's way. Like, what if actually this got... I mean, I've not seen the rest of it, but like, what if actually she's in harm's way or something happens? They'll just say, oh, charge it to the game.
Yeah.
Charge it to the game, I guess. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
But Rochelle loves it though. Like, I feel like even if she literally says, oh, you know, she didn't have a choice. But even if she had a choice, I think she would choose to do
like,
it.
oh, make me undercover.
Yeah, I'll be an undercover asset for the FBI. But yeah, you can just tell that she tells the story at every party, like dinner party, rave, beach club. You could tell she's like, oh, there was a time
party of one in her room.
She loves it, fam. She loves it. So we meet this FBI agent, Bob, and he says,
having that desire, that attraction to children is not a crime per se. It becomes a crime when you act out upon that attraction. And
this is important because even though Jared is admitting to raping kids as young as 11 or 12, like, this could be fantasy. It could just be him imagining or him whatever.
I don't get pedophilia. It's more than that because, okay, so pedophiles will say, and obviously we will never get to the bottom of this because neither of us are that way inclined, but pedophiles will say, like, they have an attraction to underage kids, prepubescent or whatever, just like we have our attractions to whoever it is,
to men, women, whatever, yeah.
But I don't have to sleep with every man that I see, even though I'm attracted to men. The depravity that comes with being a paedophile, it's not like, okay, and this is not to say it's better, but it's not like, okay, like, you're a paedophile, you found this one underage girl, fall in love with her, and you're in a relationship. These people are actively, like, harming kids constantly, multiple kids. So it just leads me to believe it's not just as easy as saying, oh, I'm just this way inclined. I just think it's depravity, because I used to be like, okay, it's a sickness, like, if they haven't acted on it, then we should, like, support them, rehabilitate, whatever. Yeah, but then I started to deep. I was like, if it's solely just an attraction, like, you're just attracted to, like, kids.
Attraction doesn't mean you have to act on that attraction.
Yes, like, I'm attracted to I'm attracted to Idris Elba, but I'm a married woman. Like, even if he walked in here, I'm not gonna, like, jump on him, kind of thing. And furthermore, even if I was a single person, I'm not gonna sleep with every man I see.
Exactly, and also, if you were a single person, you would only sleep with men that would consent to sleep with you, and a child cannot consent to sleep with you.
So fundamentally, it is not just, oh, this is who you're attracted to. Fundamentally, you are just a very disturbed human being that wants to, like, spew evil
and an abusive person.
Yeah, like, that's
because you can't, like, a child cannot consent. They can't.
Even if you go to a school, you see a bunch of kids, you go home and you wank here, it's still very problematic. But, like, the fact that you are actively putting yourself in positions where you have an array of children that you have access to abuse,
knowing how you feel and what you plan to do about that feeling.
Yeah, it's not just oh, I'm attracted to kids, I can't help it. It's actually, like, you are an active part of this issue. Yeah. That's why
it's disgusting.
The whole thing of, oh, we can't control ourselves. No, because if it was just an attraction, as normal human beings,
people are attracted to people all the time.
Literally. And this is not to say that, oh, if a paedophile found one small child and whatever, that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that I'm trying to debunk the theory that you can't control the X, Y, Z. No, like, fuck off.
You're making choices.
Yeah, you're making this choice to be this way.
Disgusting. Yeah, but the point the FBI guy is making is like, oh, listen, like, if we're gonna do this, you need the names of actual victims and survivors. You can't get him on. Yeah, you can't get him on tape saying, oh, there was this girl and that girl and that girl, and we don't know who these people are. Like, did it happen? Did it not? Does he wish it happened? That kind of stuff. And even listening to the tapes between, like, Rochelle and Jared, I don't really get how he's not suspicious. But again, like, you know, yeah.
Do you think? Because, like, I feel like at the same time, like, if you meet a like-minded person and you guys are having like-minded conversations, you might not suspect that, oh, this person is...
But like you said in the beginning, yeah, if you are so depraved and this is such a deep, dark side to you, yeah, why... I mean, I guess maybe it's a thing where it's like, oh, I'm just happy to have found someone else like me. And it's the fact that she's a woman is not even a thing where like he should be less suspicious of her, because we all know that there are how many man and woman duos have there been that have like caused people harm and like killed people and stuff like that. But I just feel like, I don't know, maybe there's a bit of like ego tied in with that, like, oh yeah, like why would anyone try and come for me? Do you know what I mean?
I also like, of just think that she did a lot more to make him feel comfortable in that environment.
Exactly, and that makes me and that makes me very uncomfortable, because I'm like, what about you made him so comfortable to come out and say these things?
Because even if I was trying to be undercover and the FBI held a gun to my head, I could not sit down and have a like-minded conversation with
and that's not my job. And again, going back to just having civilians be undercover, that is not my job.
So like, you're not even trained. So this
is what I'm saying, like, you're not even trained.
That do it are trained. They're told,
and they struggle.
But you are a normal civilian, and somehow you manage to have the
to get yourself into the mind of a paedophile. She was
having these conversations with a paedophile. Like, there's even this bit where they're having this conversation, one of their tapes that we hear, and basically like, he's saying to her, like, they're talking about having sex with kids, and he's like, oh, like,
raping.
So, rape. So he's saying like, oh, I like little girls and little boys, whatever. Like, he's an open, equal opportunity abuser. And he's like, oh, what about you? Like, what's your fantasy? Would you want a boy or a girl? And then, like, before we can hear her response, the documentary cuts to like something else, and that there let me know that this woman probably said a lot of problematic fucked up shit, but they wouldn't play it because obviously she's the,
it makes her look bad and she's the hero. Yeah, exactly. It's just I don't know, it just made me very uncomfortable. It's like, I know that you're here, you're in the limelight, you're loving it, whatever, but it's just like, I don't know, you shouldn't have been put in that position, but I also think that you loved being in that position. I don't know, it's just weird. So Rochelle has to drop her recordings to the FBI as soon as they're done. Like, she can't, for some reason, wait until morning. She can't, I don't get it, but it has to be right here, right now. So in the middle of the night, she's in empty car parks and she's neglecting her family to some extent in order to do this, which is putting a strain on her relationship with her kids, right? Obviously, she can't tell her kids what's happening, so they're basically scared of everyone and everything, and this just starts to negatively impact. So the point of this bit is just that actually you're trying to do a good thing, but it's actually having a negative impact on your actual life, because you've decided, untrained, you're going to just become FBI undercover so-and-so.
People have time. By the time I finish cleaning my house, do you think I'll have energy to do any of this?
Go to work and come back. I cannot.
That's crazy.
Meanwhile, Rochelle tells us that the conversations with Jared get darker and darker.
Just the darkest things that you could even imagine.
We should try to get some child porn videos to watch together.
There's this one phone call about his trip to Thailand that still lives with me today.
So then there's a call about a trip to Thailand, and I have not watched it because this is where my side of things ended, but apparently it's crazy, and that's it for this episode. But the call, so I just thought, leave it on a cliffhanger, but there's a call about Thailand, and it's like, ooh, dun dun dun, what the hell happened? And I wanted to like continue watching so I knew what happened, but I didn't have the time
because I was actually enjoying the documentary.
I didn't have the time.
I had to do something else, so
but we're gonna get into that next week. Woo woo woo. So we'll finish off episode 2, and then we're gonna do episode 3.
But before we do, just to set the tone for episode 3, because Hannah and Christian basically, they learned that their stepdad works with Russell. So at this point, the stepdad is wealthy, he's but they don't know like all the people he works with. So they learn that Russell works with Jared, and obviously Jared is
famous,
celebrity. So obviously from them, they realize that Jared is the one that's funding a lot of the lifestyle that they live, and they say that like Jared basically had a hold over the family because he was the money man. And I just want to leave us with that because that is very important.
Yep, I can imagine so. Yeah, but now it's time for
the real crime. I think was the beard.
Our segment where we focus on something during the documentary that may not be criminal, but we definitely consider to be a crime. Have you got some?
You go first.
So the real crime, I think, were the reenactments. It's not one of the worst that we've seen, but I hate reenactments, so it's a crime. And then the real crime, I think, was Piers Morgan. He appeared on my screen, jump scare, and that was the crime.
Yeah, I did do a jump
And then
scare.
Subway.
I did do a jump scare. No, mine was, funny enough, it's to link in with reenactment, but there was this bit where, like, when she was going into the hotel, like the light hit the wig. Yeah, Rochelle.
Yeah.
And the wig just looked like, you know those wigs you get from like party shops, the
Party
blonde
City.
ones? Yeah,
A shiny wig,
shiny
like fibers,
and crunchy. And I was just like, wow, is this the best we could do?
It clearly
and
was.
then also the other like true crime for me was just like the when the other guy that Jared went to school with came on the screen, he just suddenly was riding like a skateboard. And like I was thinking, oh, like Jared must be quite young. Then this guy sat down and he looked like he was in his 40s. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing on a skateboard? Like, sir, you are a senior citizen.
Come on, Tony Hawk. That's the skateboard one, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I would get mixed up with the guy from Avengers. Because he's Tony Hawk as well. Huh?
There's two Tony Hawks.
Mr. Stark. That's Stark.
Oh, Tony Stark.
Tony Stark. And then there's
Hawk.
Ned Stark from Game of Thrones.
Ned Stark is Game of Thrones.
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I've tried.
Girl.
Yeah. And then you tried to maybe watch the Dragon one as well, do you remember?
Oh, God. Sometimes I wonder how...
Is anyone fucking your man?
I wonder how we've made it this far, honestly. I do wonder.
I am so tired. Sorry, go on.
I watched this really good movie. I just wanted to drop it in as a recommendation.
Yeah, go on.
It's called 3 Billboards in... I can't remember the rest. But if you type in 3 Billboards, you'll get there. It has Woody Harrelson in it. I randomly find him really sexy.
I get it. If he's who I'm thinking of, I get it.
From Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, seeing Damages.
Damages?
There's a guy in Damages, yeah. That, oh my God. There's a guy in Damages, yeah. That, so I just got a pop-up and it's just this girl sucking dick and it just appeared out of nowhere.
It's always like, oh, horny singles in your area. Wait, horny single mums waiting to fuck.
I'm like, hello. Hey, can I just scroll in peace? What? You said Woody Harrelson?
Yeah, I don't think.
Don't I get my? Oh, Harrelson. Oh yeah.
No, come on.
He is who I thought he was, but he's not the way I thought he looked. Let me type young.
Okay, no, there's some pictures here that are off, but like whenever he acts, he has this very like. Do you know what it is? He has very big dick energy.
I can agree with that part.
Everything I see him in, he has big dick energy.
See, look, when he was younger, I think when his mouth is closed.
Yeah,
but he does look a bit goofy sometimes as well.
But it's funny because people say him and Thingy look alike.
Who?
So there's this running joke about how him and Matthew McConaughey are like long-lost brothers.
They're similar vibes, yeah.
There is sexiness somewhere.
There is sexiness somewhere in most people, I believe.
No.
I think so.
No.
In most people, there's somewhere.
Yeah, nah, Woody Harrelson. Yeah, that is.
Who's the guy I'm thinking of from Damages then?
He's a bit of me. I randomly find some really weird people sexy.
Yeah. What's the guy's name? He was like evil in it. Oh, there he is. What's his name? Do you know who this guy is? Oh, I can't show you this. Share my screen.
This is not
What's his name? I'm looking at him right now. He's white and he has like a bone structure.
That could be a number of white men.
What is his name? Oh, Ted Danson.
Okay, let me see.
Hold on, let me see if that's even the one that I think it is. Yeah, it's him.
Is he the one?
He was in The Good Place.
Good Place. Yeah, I was saying Happy Place.
Yeah, the Happy Place.
He's a bit too crisp for me. Like he's too clean.
So fresh and so clean.
But when he was younger, there's a picture of him and Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, I just saw that one. I just scrolled past that one. Come on, Swirl.
Okay, Swirl.
I'm still here like I don't have shit to do. Let's be going.
Yeah, okay. Well, guys, that was amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next week, we will be back with part 2, so there won't be a trailer, but we're going to do basically the rest of episode 2 and then episode 3 as well. Okay, Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Please give us a 5-star rating and review if you love us. And then, that's it. It will be well with you and your...
People.
Your what's the opposite of ancestors?
With successors?
I don't think that's it, but they know what we mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Predecessors.
No, it's not that. No,
pre.
ancestors and your not offspring. Your okay. Before you guys go, I'm gonna get that word for you.
Post-decessors.
Do you know what? Do you know what?
Post Malone.
Opposite of ancestors. Opposite ancestors. Am I a dickhead? Do they not understand what I mean? Descendants. That's
Descendants. Oh my god,
That's
yes.
it. Said post. Okay.
Post Malone.
Okay. All right. On that note, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.